This episode will be dedicated to the recent recognition of artist Gelli Haha by an independent music show. And if you want to hear more, please stick around. This is All Gas, No Trash. My name's Adam, and welcome back to the program, and welcome to a brand new episode. I'm going to do my best to give a little brief description of Gelli Haha in addition to this independent music award show that I will be talking about just after this Gelli Haha segment. It's been exciting times for the Gelli Haha camp dating back all the way to March 2025 with the release of the debut single Bounce House, which was featured on Travis Holcomb's program Freaks Only on KCRW, which I would say was a pivotal catalyst for people being introduced to the Gelli Haha verse or the Gelli verse. And shortly afterwards, there was a show at the Silver Lake Lounge where Gelli Haha played support to Chanpan for their LA debut, where a lot of people were won over that night. There was all kinds of debauchery with, dolphin balloons, bubbles, and, choreographed dances, in addition to the awesome live band, the two flute players, the analog synthesizer person that was on this giant box thing with wires sticking out, and she was plugging and playing, and all kinds of stuff was happening in the background. But just a fun project overall to see. Shortly afterwards, we had the debut album of Gelli Haha with Switcheroo being released in June of 2025, even being acknowledged by Pitchfork in addition to NME, and also being featured on Goyo Club, the YouTube channel, where they did a set at a record store or a laundromat. I can't remember which one it was. So just a lot of interesting highlights that include Gelli Haha. And in August of 2025, we had the debut album release show, which also included really fun stuff like set pieces from the props from the music videos, like Normalize, the giant parachute, in addition to a really cool like retro photo booth and a giant picture of Gelli Haha that people could draw in or color in. And I never actually got to see what it ended up looking like at the end of the night, but I think even that show was actually sold out. But beyond that, we also had her playing support to Polo and Pand, and also Magdalena Bay. And probably one of the more interesting things that happened was her being featured at Viva Pomona Fest with her being featured as, I guess, top billing. In addition to some other really great bands like Rio Costa and also Nice. But I saw that moment as a precursor for her to be featured at Coachella, because as some of you may know, that we made an episode talking about Viva Pomona Fest and its importance in the landscape of music, as it is associated with Golden Voice, and Golden Voice being the promoter that puts on the Coachella Music Festival. I think of it as a precursor for her to eventually end up playing Coachella. Of course, there are many obstacles she has to tackle, including selling out the El Rey, the Fonda Theater, before she can even, get to that point, but certainly on the right path. And I think that more or less sums up what has been happening around Gelli Haha. So now we can pivot over towards the independent award show that I've been wanting to talk about. So let's go ahead and start the next segment. The independent music award show that I speak of is called the Libera Awards, and I'm going to read their About section verbatim. The annual Libera Awards honors both independent musicians as well as the teams that support them. Independent music encompasses all genres and styles. It is without constraints. The Libera Awards exist to recognize the powerful, unique voice of the independent sector. Now in the 15th year, the Libera Awards is the premier celebration of independent music. So I became interested in this for another artist, and I knew nothing of these awards, but there was an artist named Gabby Moreno who had made an album, and she was recognized by the Libera Awards. So once I looked into the categories, not only for herself, but also other artists, it really dawned on me that this was something that I was interested in, because it featured a lot of artists that I was interested in, including the Altons, the Sinceres. I believe the Sacred Souls have been nominated, or I think they were nominated last year, but there was just a number of artists that I was really interested in, including Magdalena Bay, who got nominated for Best Pop Album last year for Imaginal Disc. So for Gelli Haha to be recognized by this award show, I think says a lot about the project, where the music industry sees it going, in addition to being recognized by the independent music industry itself. I think this is a great honor for her, a great privilege to be recognized by these people. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the next segment, and we'll be talking about the nominations that she got for this award show. So the first category that Gelli Haha is nominated for, at least according to the listing on the Libera Awards website, is Breakthrough Artist, which includes Geese, Lambrini Girls, in addition to Nourished by Time and also Water from Your Eyes. I mean, that's some pretty stiff competition, and I'm not sure if she'll actually win, but nonetheless, to be acknowledged for Breakthrough Artist, I mean, it is quite fitting for everything that she's been able to accomplish in the last, I guess 12 months to this point. I mean, we are already pretty damn close to the anniversary of Bounce House. But again, talking about some of the accolades that she's had, having been featured on Pitchfork in addition to NME, and I mean, also being reviewed by Pitchfork, doing really cool shows with Chanpan in addition to Polo and Pan, and also Magdalena Bay. And I forgot that, man, I don't remember the name of that venue with like the puppet show stuff. I think it's like the Gene Autry Marionette something. I don't know. I forget the name of it. Somebody can comment what that place is called, but she also played a show there. So just she's generally been doing some really cool things across the board, and this makes a ton of sense for me to be part of the Breakthrough Artist category. I mean, how many other artists could you say had the trajectory of Gelli Haha, with debuting on KCRW, having Bounce House played with Travis Holcomb's program Freaks Only, and I mean, there's so much more to come. I imagine she's going to get a KEXP set at some point. She's probably going to be featured on NPR, if I were to estimate. And I think she's going to end up at Coachella eventually. I think it's probably going to take 2 or 3 years roughly. So anyways, let's go ahead and get to the next category. All right, so this is where I think the Libera Awards lost me, because Gelli Haha's next nomination is for Best Dance Record, which is really odd considering what other artists she's surrounded by. And that includes Danny Brown with Stardust, Fuckers with I Like It Like That, Sextile with Yes Please, Shy Girl with Club Shy Room 2. So I could see how Gelli Haha's music could be considered a dance record because it is quite danceable, but I thought maybe she would end up in the electronic space. And here is a quick rundown of Best Electronic Record. We have Ella Minus with Dia, Helado Negro with The Last Sound on Earth, Okla with Choke Enough, One Otrix Point Never with Tranquilizer, Sudan Archives, The BPM. So, I mean, if there was a comparable artist to Gelli Haha, I would say Helado Negro is probably closer to Gelli Haha than, say, anybody else on the Best Dance Record or in the Best Dance Record category. But here is the thing that really like fucks with me, because in the Best Pop Record category, we have some really strong names. And I think part of the reason that she was thrown in this dance category is because the names that are featured in the Best Pop Record include David Byrne with Who Is the Sky, King Princess, Girl Violence, Lily Allen with West End Girl, Okla with Choke Enough, Perfume Genius with Glory, and Robin with Dopamine. So, as you could see, like, if she was actually put within that category, surely she would lose compared to some of the other names. She's a new face. It doesn't really make sense for her to win. So I think even with that, they just decided to throw her in, not to say a low stakes category, but one that I think she could potentially win compared to her, I guess, peers, which include, again, Danny Brown, what was it? Danny Brown, Sextile, and a few other names. But yeah, I was kind of taken back by that, considering that one of their management brethren, Magdalena Bay, both Gelli Haha and Magdalena Bay being part of Loyalty Management, both of them are synth pop artists. And last year, Magdalena Bay was nominated for Best Pop Record for Imaginal Disc, and I think they were probably more prog rock than any of their previous albums, but nonetheless, they got nominated for Best Pop Record. So to me, it doesn't really make sense why Gelli Haha was put in the Best Dance Record category, but nonetheless, that's where she ended up. But for sure, what makes sense for me is that the Breakthrough Artist of the Year category, that makes all the much sense to me for all the artists that are being featured within that category. I think she has a real strong chance to win that award. I'm not really too sure about Dance Record, the Best Dance Record. I don't know. I think she's something of an oddball or black sheep when it comes to the other artists. But nonetheless, it is great to see that Gelli Haha has been recognized for her efforts, not only for her live performances, but also for the music that she has put out throughout the year, or at least last year in 2025. So, kudos to her for all the hard work. I mean, she actually hasn't even made a formal announcement that she's been nominated for this stuff. But, I took it upon myself to talk about this because it was something that I found on the Libera Awards website, as I was pretty curious about what the nominations were. So anyways, that's going to be the end of the episode. I appreciate you all being here, and hopefully you got your fill on Gelli Haha with her recent nominations at the Libera Awards, and I'm sure we'll do an update on if she actually wins or not. And whether she does or not, it doesn't matter. We're still going to do an episode talking about the Libera Awards, or specifically Gelli Haha being featured at the Libera Awards. So anyways, this is going to be the end of the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll catch you all next time.